Welcome to Tarot Q&A Tuesday. I am pulling out the Aura Soma, the White Pomander, just to give me a little bit more vibrancy and clear away the day. I've been moving furniture, I've been working on my computer, I've been seeing clients, I've been doing all sorts of things. So here we are today with a bunch of questions that are actually a little bit different to usual. We're not fully focusing on the love life for a change. Although we do have some curly ones, so I need to be really grounded and centered. I'm going to start off with two people that have sent in questions, and then we're going to launch into the group reading. That's how we're going to do it today. Now, I'm going to bring the microphone close, make sure everything's going. Good to see you, Aaron, Linda, Michelle, Jess, and Brenda for a first-time caller too. Well, second if you can count the other day. Let me get into the first question. Whew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to take the fifth one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jonathan, how do you manage to miss what's right in front of you constantly? Do you know what? When Jonathan sent this message to me today, I was a little bit cheeky and I sent a message right back with a comment that says, now I do know Jonathan, so it's not like he's a stranger, but I said, for a start, you have to be in touch with yourself to start with and begin any question or inquiry with an I. So I enabled him to reword his question that went like, how do I manage to miss what's right in front of me constantly? So Jonathan has all these situations where he's basically had opportunities, but for some reason or another, he's pretty much just, felt like he was in the world alone and that he's got no support from people or life or the universe. So I'm not going to dive into this super deep today, apart from we'll get a random card to understand that, because that's quite a lot of unpacking. When you are really missing the signs that life is gifting you and opportunities, you're very much out of alignment with your truth, with your inner being, with your soul. And what we need to do in this time is connect back to our heart and really listen to what our body is telling us and find stillness to hear those messages. But in the meantime, we're just going to tune in. Jonathan, the card for you today is actually, is this the correct card? I've got the card of business, initiation of business, focus on money. It's the Pentacles, he's a page. And this is a very, excuse me for saying Jonathan, but it's an immature mindset around money. In this case, it's not actually an immature mindset around money. It's actually a young mindset. It's not evolved. And my feeling on this is that I'm just going to turn off this aircon, guys. Otherwise you won't be able to hear me. It's an opportunity to look at money in a more highest good kind of modality. This actually reminds me a lot of when people are fixated on financial security, and that sort of takes over the way they miss all the signs in life, because all they're thinking about is getting the house or getting the money or providing for their family or setting up for their retirement. And when we just have that as our focus, we've just limited all other opportunities because we're blind to anything that's not making us money. If that makes sense, I hope so. Give us a thumbs up in the replay, Jonathan, when you're watching it, and maybe make a comment to say whether this relates to you or whether you just really don't understand what I'm talking about at all. Now we're going to loom into the next question. What are we going to do? 3. I'm getting a feeling for 3. 1, 2, 3. Richard. Oh, damn, he was going to make it here today. He's in Perth. Different time frame. Now, Richard has a few questions as well. So here is a very interesting topic that's come up today, is how you ask your personal questions, how you ask the questions to the universe. So Richard actually said, am I going to have a financial breakthrough soon? And I must have said something back to him similar to what I said to Jonathan. I can't remember what it was now. However, he then said, righty then, alrighty then, I hear what you're saying, I'm listening to you, I'm picking up what you're putting down. And then he comes back with, how do I shift my vibe around cash flow? Oh, that's right, I must have said, you've got to change your vibe. I said, I don't want to tell you how to suck eggs, but matey potato, Richie dish, got to change your vibe. And he goes, well, how do I shift my vibe around cash flow? And then when do I shift my vibe? Well, when, we don't need to read tarot to know that. You shift it as fast as you can because we always want the goodness. We're going to take the how do I shift my vibe around cash flow. Now, for those who watched the Cosmic Consulting class last night, we talked about love, loneliness, and relationships, and how we perceive our situation is very indicative of what we attract back. So if we're excited about meeting someone, then we're going to be in a good vibe energy. If we're feeling sad or lonely about not having someone, we're going to be in a low vibe energy. And therefore, the same goes for money. If you're feeling the lack, you're in more lack. You'll attract more of what you focus on. Whatever you give your attention to expands. And therefore, the opposite is true. If you get excited about being in abundance, free-flowing cash flow, really seeing your life as it ought to be, not feeling those angst, dealing with the emotions that come up when you are on the fine line and can't pay your rent or struggling with the basics in life. Really, it's easy for us to be in the moment of what is and not to foresee the future. Sadly, the moment that is was like last week's or last year's or last month's focus point. So today, you need to focus on what you want in the future, because the energy that's working with you at the moment is your future. What's manifested now, so last year. Okay, we'll answer his question anyway, which was, how do I change my vibe? Well, there's lots of ways you can do this, so we're going to tune into Richard. Safe and appropriate to do this. We're going to pull a card for Richard to help him to shift his vibe around money so that he's more in an abundance mindset with good vibe energy. He's high vibing. So there's many of you watching today that are going to benefit from this, right? Because this is going to be a tip for all of us. Okay, Richard. Okay, this is fantastic. We have the victory card. This guy has been celebrated for all that he is. He's been rewarded. He's appreciated. And the way I see this card for you, Richardish, is in fact to really celebrate yourself and all that you have achieved. In business, I know that you actually have achieved so many amazing things. You are a legend in your primary line of work, and you have other skills that are unraveling. Celebrate what you're great at. Focus on the passion you have behind your business. I personally absolutely relate to this. The way that my business evolves has nothing to do with money, yet it simultaneously makes me more money as I evolve. What do? I focus on what I love. I work in my passion every single day. I get excited about the creations I'm making. I really, really, really love what I do. I want to do. If I'm going to get frustrated, it's when someone takes me away from my work. A little bit like today, trying to do my notes, trying to write some amazing notes about this download I have last week or on the weekend. It was on the weekend actually. And then I've got plasterers turning up. I've got painters wanting to come around, and I'm like chatting to these tradesmen, just wanting to do my notes. So I have to, okay, this is good because I'm actually getting a new bathroom out of it. So we have to appreciate the positive in what it is. That means when you're in your business or when you're in your work and you don't have enough money and you have some leeway in that, like there's not a structured wage, you have to remind yourself to follow your passion within what you do. Because when you're in that passion, you're high vibing, you're really radiating the essence from your soul. And then it's just easy to attract the good stuff back. But how do you know? Because the good stuff actually comes to you in ideas and inspiration and people you meet that day. If you feel good, you'll be in the right place at the right time. If you're feeling grumpy, shitty, frustrated, you're going to have your eyes down, your shoulders slumped, and be feeling like shit and miss everything. So this is probably great for Jonathan as well. Shoulders back, heart open, awareness. Open up your intuitive abilities. There's a thought. Alrighty guys, so nice to have you all here today. We are going to launch into the collective, the group reading. Wonder what it's about. Whew, might need to just recenter. Clear away my own little leverage of frustration with a little bit of aurosoma. So we will connect in. What do I need to hear right now? Is anyone chatting to me? Sorry, I haven't seen that yet. Thank you, Mish. Yes, I'm loving my little gypsy vibe. Had my little nerdy goody two shoes look on last night for Cosmic Consulting. Like to mix it up a bit, you could say. Okay, we all need to hear. Okay, I've got quite a beautiful story here. It's all about love, but it's actually not classically in the form of romantic love. This is what I want to refer to as divine love, soul love. Okay, like look at these cards. If you can see them, I know that the lighting can be a little bit of a kerfuffle. Now, the Ace of Cups it can be a start of a new love affair or new love relationship. But because I've pulled this as a collective and I'm feeling the energy of it more strongly about offering your love to others and giving your love to yourself. So this is a new way of looking at things for some people. However, there's no coincidence that this is just running on the back of last night's Cosmic Consulting class that was all about love, loneliness, and relationships, and how to experience your deepest love, how to attract your soulmate. And it was very much around, you get yourself and you love yourself first. We didn't talk about that specifically, but ultimately, if you love yourself, you're feeling empowered, you're feeling amazing, you like yourself, you're happy, you're oozing good energy, and you're moving more and more into your personal empowerment. And then you're in a place to offer other people love. When you offer other people love, I'm not just talking about a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I'm talking about everybody. Just be mindful of things like, a lot of people I find are not intentional about the words they use. Somebody might express a simple thing that has kind of upset them about a silly circumstance, and someone makes a joke about it. I think it's funny. And maybe if you're into that kind of black humor, it could be for that kind of thing. But ultimately, when you offer a joke about someone who's expressed how they feel, even if it's a silly thing about how they feel, maybe it was how they feel in their new dress, or a disappointment in how a presentation didn't go. And if you just say things like, oh, they probably had no idea anyway, or that's not really a joke, but I can't think of a joke because it's not really the way that I work. But what I mean is, when we don't actually hear what the other person's saying and we just do a flippant comment because you're not present with what the conversation is, it's disconnecting. It's just disconnecting. And what I feel is the problem in the world at the moment is we're so disconnected. Even with all the social media, we're ridiculously disconnected in the world with people more than ever before. So my suggestion, and this is not the first time that this kind of topic has come up, is to just stop before you reply to somebody's words, or stop before you text someone back. And just have a conscious want to at least connect in with some key people in your life, because it won't only help with personal relationships, it will also build business connections. This could be with clients, or it could be with colleagues. And that is quite a rave on about this message. So I'd just like to put it into a nutshell for you. I ask you to respond to people with love So instead of reacting to whatever, or just get over it, or yeah, funny, haha, or just flipping it off, and how about you just take a week? I want 1 week for all of you to aim to be your most beautiful self and soul by coming from your heart space. And that means pausing every time you're going to communicate. This is a big deal, but it's also a game changer, because I promise you that if you experience this new form of communication, you will experience a new form of people reacting to you with love back. You will experience a new form of warm fuzzies in your heart. You will experience new doors opening. You will experience people getting you. It's a two-way street. And I feel that people are just too quick to get to the next thing, and they miss the moments, even if it's with somebody in the local cafe that you don't even know. I'm giving you 1 week, 7 days that is, to challenge yourself to just stop rushing and be present more, to think about how you could offer this person a loving moment rather than a I'm too busy for this, or your feelings are just silly, or are you really stressed out about that, or whatever. These are hurtful comments. The opposite of them: build connection, build love, build exactly what you're here to find in your life. Woo! What a bit of a lecture we've all got today. You know what? The funny thing is, randomly, I actually reminded myself of this. It was either Friday night or Saturday night. Can't remember. I did this little healing on myself, and that was the insight I got. But that's no coincidence that this is coming through now, right? Okay, let's talk to Andrea. Okay, this is quite a big one, but we want to work into this because I feel after cosmic consulting last night that this is relative to those seeking love in their life. If you're single, feeling lonely, bit of grief, listen to this. I'd love to know whether I will be adored and considered someone's love of their life or absolute soulmate. I think at the moment I feel like I have no personality. From the past men they've become bored of me quickly and moved on to someone better. I don't feel like I've even been enough, or even if my great qualities have ever been seen. So Andrea is clearly a bit down on herself and not feeling good enough for a relationship. And without even having to pull a card, her question was, I'd love to know whether I will be adored or considered someone's greatest love. Well, this is where I challenge you to put yourself in the driver's seat of your life and not make it up to a destiny thing. As we've talked about, sometimes things are destiny, but to be adored and be someone special, you first have to have that connection with yourself, right? So if you're feeling like you're boring and that you're not an amazing person that you are, there's more to discover about who you are. Perhaps there's something else that is yet to be unraveled. Now we're going to pull a card to find out what you need to hear. This is a big suitcase of stuff that we could really play around with, all sorts of things in it. So let's just talk to Andrea. Andrea, how do we unravel this question? What is the message aside? So it's all very well to know we need to connect in with ourselves, but how the heck do we do that, right? Andrea, the message you need, we're going to get a couple of cards. Okay. Let's move. This is very cool. Wasn't expecting this. Okay, this is dramatic. This is a bit of a big one. I'm a bit hesitant, so I'm a bit hesitant because I haven't got the full picture. My first reading on this would say, move, and then you'll find your soulmate. Look, we've got this rapid move, things growing, building personal power, traveling over water, and finding your soulmate. However, let's just back up the truck with that without being too dramatic. I'm not saying, right, move out of town, go live overseas. No, what I'm saying is something needs to move, something needs to shift, and this is related to an 8, and they are the wands, so it's about passion, creativity, personal power, inner strength, inner confidence. So clearly that needs to move. Now, when you build those qualities, you will just naturally attract your soulmate. Let me just remind you, I've got the soulmate card. This is the soulmate card. That's cool, right? That is like crazy with this question we've got. However, I'm actually going to be brave enough to ask, is it actually a physical move that would be really beneficial for Andrea? Oh, it's a lot on my shoulders to ask this question, isn't it? Can I ask this question? Is that, okay. No, it's a no. It's not a physical move. So it's probably a bit of a relief for me. So, and to indicate a no, I got the Four of Pentacles, which is just really like, whoa, no, not yet. What it does mean is to focus on the energy that 8 brings, which is abundance, prosperity, and really having some personal growth. These wands have little leaves on them that are growing, and that is, growth, personal growth, and just getting the energy moving. I do feel things are a bit stagnant. I mean, how do you do that? Where do you start? That's going to be your question next, isn't it? So let's just give you some answers on that. Okay. I see that there's some, is that an appropriate question? How do you do that? How do you do that? Andrea, we need to give you some step by, oh, this is great. Oh my God. Okay. So I got this confusion card. It's like trying to make a decision with your head. This is all about vulnerability. This is another 8. Star. You need to find the star inside of you. You need to be willing to be vulnerable. And this means if you go on dates as well, you just got to be your raw self. This doesn't mean being a crybaby. It means being deeply honest with your deepest dreams and allowing yourself some space to feel into your heart. Feel into what you want and stop worrying about what other people think, because this thinking is keeping you at a crossroads and it's making you feel stuck. This is the 8. This is becoming a star. I'd love to know what your numbers are, Andrea, because if you are at 8 life path, this is a massive transformative time right now for you. We're going to have to move on because we have other people to get through. And my battery is dying. That's not ideal. Let's launch into Linda L. I know she said I could paraphrase the question. I do like a bit of juice to the question though, Linda. She wants to know if she should send an email to a family member to explain the way she feels about a situation that happened. Because it all blew up in their faces, but now she wants some healing in the relationship. However, she does wonder, is this that she just wants them to acknowledge their part, accept it, and apologize to her? Like, she's actually already apologized to this family member. And, it's just probably dragging the chain for a response. So Linda, while she's moving forward in her own way, she just wants some support from the cards. And I'm going to pull some one card about some advice around this. What I'm feeling, Linda, quite strongly is this is the Emperor. We're going to pull 2 cards here. This is about structure and just getting on with the logical things of life. It's very non-emotive. My instinct on this is you're going to have to step aside from it and let it go without interaction. And here's a gross example of how that looks. If someone passes to the other side, like dies, we can't resolve things face to face with that individual. So we need to have the ability to self-soothe and self-transform in the moment when we cannot communicate with another. And this happens when people are alive as well. In fact, often it's the only way, because sometimes the other parties are not on the same page and they have less self-awareness than you might, or less empathy, or less need for you, and all these other reasons that it's just not a big deal to them, or they just don't care. I'm not saying they don't. In my case, they're just a bit more shut down would be the word. So I would suggest that you approach them with, you've done your apology, so you've done your part, and I would suggest that you approach them as a happy chappy with a structured solution of what you would like in their life. And this means inviting them to perhaps come around for dinner as if everything is okay, because you can, not pretending it didn't happen, just you getting on with life. So you've got to choose, I'm going to let this go, I'm going to start fresh, I'm going to invite them for dinner. Or you might want to, in the case of your business, I'm quite aware of what's going on in your business since we're doing some business stuff together. The thing is that if you can approach them about some, exciting practical things, then you've got an excuse to interact and be your vibrant self. If you interact with a bit of resentment or sulkiness or sarcasm or depression or down or flatness, anything that's not, I'm so excited about this business, then it's going to be a tricky dynamic to manage. So the idea is for you to come into your heart's excitement and meet with them. When you feel good, they will react accordingly. Does that make sense? It's a bit of, yeah, thanks for the thumbs up, Linda. And while we're here, if you're on YouTube, why don't you give me a thumbs up or make your question part of the comments for now. We'll look into it for next week. We all need a bit of love here. Or, and more so, how about 5 purple hearts in the comments? Give me 5 purple hearts if you're watching the YouTube replay. Linda, I think this is fantastic advice. I couldn't have said it better myself from the tarot. Let's move on to Tina. Hello, Tina. Tina. How do I get clear on my next move? And what do I have to clear to have a fulfilling relationship? This is funny timing because now, whilst we did a Cosmic Consulting last night, that is obviously a paid subscription, there is a sneaky peek. It's only 6 minutes long on my YouTube channel that gives you a taste of exactly what Tina is asking here. It's actually called something like, what's the missing link to your love life being amazing, or something along the lines of that. Really helps you to get in alignment with your soulmate's energy. But in this case, we're just going to go directly to Tina's question, which the final part of that question was, where is it? What is stopping, no, what do I have to clear? There's 2 questions here. We're going to do the relationship question first. What do you have to clear? Is there something to clear? Is there something to clear? We'll just see. Is there something to clear? It's not so much something to clear. Okay, what are we going to hear here? What are we going to hear here? Here. Tina, is this the correct pack? Can we read it for Tina? Safe and appropriate. Tina. Whew. Oh, okay. What do you need to clear? So I'm going to show you the card and then I'm going to unpack it a little bit more. It's like, you know what this card is? It's like a little bit of illusion, but it's, it's rose tinted glasses, emotionally. I just see, you see this darkness in this picture? I feel like there's just some darkness of the past to clear. Whew. I would like to offer you a quick verbal healing process you can do for yourself, Tina. And that is where you literally have a very conscious meditative moment and you say, I allow all energetic cords, attachments, and associations with past relationships. There might be a person's name you put in there. Being with untoward treatment, disrespect, narcissism, anything that you want to put in there that reflects your experience. And then say, I allow this to be returned to the source of its origin. So we're throwing it back to the universe, all that association, all those energetic cords that are attached to you from the past. But you're throwing it back to the universe so that it can be transformed back into universal love and light. and thereby freeing you of the shackles of past experiences. And then in that place, you can highlight your ultimate feeling of relationship, your ultimate experience of what the most blissful, in love, divine connection with a partner would look like. You might want to re-watch this and just take some notes, but there's a 3-stage part, which is basically getting clear on the attachment, throwing it to the universe, transforming it, and using your relationship intentions to decide this is the new process. Sometimes we just have to decide, I want to let that shit go because I deserve love. It is my time. And often, most often, who has ever actually done that? Who has sat down by themselves and made a conscious decision with a clear chat to the universe or your angels or your guides or your whoever you like to chat to, God, and said, hey, I need your help. I need your help here. When I get this shit gone, it's not part of me. I want to shine my light. I want to be the love that I am and attract that back. So when we are the love we are, of course we attract it back. It's the law of attraction. I can't wait to hear what Tina thinks about that. Alrighty. I know you've turned up here, Erin, so I do value people that come to the live. We're going to give Erin any card that they feel I should know, thanks. Oh, okay, Erin says he's done that many times. Very interesting. Very interesting, because I personally find it extremely powerful, but it does have to be very specific and direct. Can be very transformative, even just to get clear on what's a block, that you believe in the universal energy, that you have faith in something larger than you, and that you are clear on what you want with a positive attitude. It's not actually common for the average person. It sounds so basic, right? 1, 2, 3. It's not. Because we get so bogged down by what's happening in front of us. We can't see the wood for the trees. We're so obsessed with the stress that is in our life that's old. And if you don't fully believe in the energy of the universe, it's always going to be challenging to commit to these kind of rituals. Is this Erin's card? No. Is this Erin's card? Erin. Do we need both? That. We've got the Tame the Inner Beast, Erin. We've got another 8. This is banging on from the, oh my God, Erin, oh my goodness, I'm going to just say it again. This is the same story. This is being in your feminine qualities. This is the same story as last week. You've got to use compassion, nurturing, softness, beautiful feminineness with yourself. Or, do you know what? Look, you see it. This woman, she's taming this lion with her love. She's not a masculine lion tamer whipping yourself into shape. I know, different mindset, different way of looking at things. We always get these feminine messages for you. We do though, right? I'm always going on about this for you. Anyway, it's just a random card that you selected. I better whip through these. We've done Tina. Okay, Jonathan. Jessica's waiting for a random card, so I think we're going to go to Jess because she's also turned up. Jessica. Only because you've practiced it with me, huh? So now, okay. Jessica actually said, where she's talking about the process I just shared with you, the whole getting clear on the attachment, chatting to the universe about its transformation, and really putting your intention as your new process moving forward. She said she knows it because she's practiced it with me. Ha ha, kiss. Yes, well, we've done a lot of that. So now I know what I'm doing. Yes, she does. I'm hearing it. Okay, Jessica. Jess! What do you need to hear? Jessica wanted to go with the flow rather than being controlling of her question. She just wanted to receive a message, which is actually quite cute because we've been talking about not doing. We've been talking about allowing and feeling. Well, I like this for you, Jessica. You know this card well. The Death card, a fantastic card to get because it's all about new beginnings. It's also a very powerful encouragement to be more tapped in to your absolute authentic self. So the skeleton in this picture, if you guys can see the skeleton is representation of your authenticity, your, stripping back the layers of our human life, our ego, our conditioning, the way that we think it should be. And there's other people involved here, so it does look that you have to let go of people as well and really focus on the light, the shining light, the sun that's rising in the distance there. Okay, so this is eye on the prize. Eye on the friggin' prize. How many times have I said that this week? Keep your eye on the prize. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. This is not to you, Jessica. This is to so many people I've chatted to this week. It's only Tuesday. It's a true story. It's a true story. Because I don't know why, it's not even Christmas time yet, but everybody is actually stressing themselves out. I must admit, I was doing that myself a little bit, but I've pulled myself into a bit better space, of course. I've been using my Aurosoma bottle, not this one. I've got this other beautiful one. I should have bought it to show you because it's one of the balance bottles that you would have seen in the Aurosoma class, that was the Aurosoma interview we did with Brenda a couple of weeks back. I've got this, it's coral and purple, and it matches my outfit. It actually is. First time I used it, I was wearing this outfit. No coincidence. Color is an incredible way of tuning in subconsciously to what your body needs or messages from your spirits. We've done Linda, we've done Jess, we've seen Aaron, we've got Melanie. She says, my question is a biggie. A biggie. Whew. She doesn't want any, please no judgment. Oh my goodness, none of us are perfect. Like, holy cow, I'm constantly telling you where I have a good rule book that I've created for myself, but I'm constantly going, oh, back here. Woohoo! Okay, right back here. Life is a constant redirection. It's like not that you ever get there or get perfect. It's just whoa, don't fall too far off. Go a little bit over here. Come back. Whoa, now I'm getting excited, too excited. And look, it's just like you're one of those little wobbly things, those little wobbly toys that are like, woo. Do you know those things? Did you have them? That they have this balancing thing that sits in the middle? I don't know if you had them, but surely somebody knows what I'm talking about. Surely somebody's had one of those when they were younger. But life is like that. You don't just go, oh, well, I've got to perfect. I'm so amazing now. I'm enlightened. It doesn't happen like that. So we don't need to judge each other because, of course, are we perfect? No. I got involved with a man I shouldn't have. It lasted 7 years. We both loved each other very much. I loved him like no other. Not even my child's dad. Then finally we departed ways just 1 year ago. Will he ever try and come back to me? As this has happened, Melanie, this is a yes or no question. In saying that, we will see how the information from the cards unfold for you. Will he ever come back? Should I say yes, no? I don't think so at this point. Would it be appropriate if he came back? Let's just get into, would it be for your highest good for him to come back? It's more the question we need to know, isn't it? Is this something that is in your path, in your yeah, I've actually pulled the same card twice. This is in the scheme of a yes/no question. That's a Two of Swords. It's like, nah. What do you need to learn about this person is really what I want to know. Gosh, this is quite beautiful. So what do you need to learn about this person? What do you need to learn about this person? Don't rush in too heavy with the passion and excitement of what appears to be so amazing and beautiful connection. The focus point needs to be on finding your place in this world and finding yourself and then finding your place in this world. This is the focus that you have, and then you don't even have to try to find love life. It just happens. Okay, this is the most beautiful card, the World card. So when you know what that means, it is just doing your life as an individual that interacts with other people, not depends on other people. We can so often put our happiness dependent on what someone else does or says or a current situation. And when it changes, we'll be feeling better, or we'll be happy, or we'll get on with our life. But, you know, this is a bit of a beware of the frying pan love affairs. Hey, nothing wrong with a good spicy love life, sex life, bit of a summertime romance. That passion, you know, the reality is good long-term relationships don't always start that exciting. It's not that they can't. It's just that there's a lot of lust. And sexual attraction is amazing, yet it doesn't mean they are your forever person. Or even intellectual attraction, spiritual attraction. These can be things that we can fall for because someone finally gets us, or it feels different to anyone else. God knows I've been there. But you know what? You've got to find a holistic match. Holistic match. We don't gotta. I'm just saying that the holistic, a bit of a balance of all these things actually makes for a beautiful life together. Otherwise, you could just have a casual on the side. But that's not what you really want. Understanding that being secure in yourself and knowing who you are, you will feel the goodness that you expect to feel when you start a new relationship. But you've got to do the personal stuff before you start the relationship. Problem is, everyone tries to do it the other way around. I'll have the relationship so I can validate that I'm worthy and that I'm enough and that I'm lovable and that I've got there, I've made it, I'm having the relationship. And then insecurities pop up in the relationship. Whoa! Then you got the next set of awkwardness to deal with, don't you? Let's just all embrace the fact that life is a roller coaster of an amazing journey, beautiful adventures. We have pick a path, like those books we read as kids. We really have an opportunity to play with the world if we choose to. Or we can just get mad at the world. It's totally up to us. You can drive that car around the world, or you can kick back in the passenger seat and be taken for the ride with no intention and no conscious awareness. That choice is yours. Now, I better just double check that I haven't missed anybody here. Aaron's been answered. Yes, just check the messages. Thank you for all being here live. It's nice to see a few of your faces. Melanie, Tina, Jonathan, Jessica, Richard, Linda, Andrea. I did actually get a last minute one from Karen, but I didn't buy into it because I thought I had too many questions. I probably do. So maybe we'll just love you and leave you here. We'll just pull one quick card for Karen, and then that can be an interpretation that we share privately. New ideas. Follow the next inspiration you have. Just be aware of those spontaneous, out of the blue thoughts that you might get, because they are gifts for the next step forward. In fact, Tina, I'm feeling that's what you might have needed to hear as well. There was a double question. What do I need to do to step forward? Let's check that out. What was it? How do I get clear on my next move? Just when I thought I was leaving the building, we come back with a bang. It's going to be, is that the card? Tina, this is what you need to hear about that. Oh my God, I got the same card again. Oh, I love it when that happens. So, you know, oh my God, that just happened. So, yeah, Ace of Swords. Google it because we've got to go. We're running out of time. I love you lots. Can't wait for next week. If you do want to watch the full replay of the 70-minute how to get into alignment with your soulmate and finally feel that divine love and not the ego love, first of all, email me and I'll let you know how you can buy a one class. It's only $10, okay? It's only $10. If you want to buy the whole month, it's only $25. The choice is yours, but we've got an amazing session on cosmic consulting coming up next Monday at 5 p.m. all about managing conflicting and confusing dynamics in a relationship so that you have more harmony and peace than confrontation and insecurities and disharmony. In a nutshell, ciao. Bye, guys.